in that, by mistake, I hit Amitabh Bachchan's hand. Most of my research is YouTube and listening to songs, which people don't get. So if I'm on my laptop, listening to songs and grooving to it, people are like, "Kaam nahi hai kya kuch?" I'm like, "This is my work." A dance class is supposed to be a community building thing. It was never about being a solo dancer. It's like a sport. It's like a team sport where you dance with everyone. So there are a lot of relationships involved. There is a lot of emotion involved of the chacha, of the dad, of the bhabhi, of the bua. And you have to be understanding of everything. Sometimes in rehearsals, when a woman walks into a rehearsal, she's not taken seriously. I feel it is the teacher's responsibility to conduct the class and to decide what the class is going to look like. I go for other workshops. Nobody's telling them how to space out. So that means you're not respecting someone else's space. Why are you wearing like a chuda and a mang tika and dancing in class? Because like you said, I've seen one girl whack one girl on the lip because she took a turn and she was wearing this big chuda. Thank you that you're talking about mental health for dancers specifically. Because I think not a problem, but the thing is that it has taken so much time for people to accept this as a career.
Hi everyone, welcome to Art Behind the Artist with me, Ravina Agavne. On this podcast, we chat with our favorite dancers to learn about their journeys and get inspired by their stories. We see them every day in the real world when they're in front of the cameras, but on Art Behind the Artist, we get to know who they really are in the real world behind the cameras. Now, when I decided to do this podcast, I knew who my first guest was going to be. She's been an inspiration to me and many others because she's such a graceful and a beautiful dancer. And along with that, she's also one of the kindest and the most humble friend that I've had. So please welcome Pradnya Gune.
Hi.
Pradnya.
Hi.
Welcome to Art Behind the Artist.
Thank you. What a nice introduction. I'm trying not to cry. But
Later.
Later.
Just save it for later. It's also weird, we just spent like an hour
chatting behind the scenes about anything and everything. But this is, I think, this is very formal for us to talk.
Very formal.
But I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm very excited, and also I love that we are twinning.
Yes.
First episode, twinning. Perfect.
Perfect start.
Yes. I'm excited because, we've shared some part of our journey together. We spent like an entire year training, laughing, crying, eating. And it's like, there's some friends who've stayed with us. Some have like naturally drifted apart, but I think something or the other just kept us together. So I'm excited to chat about your journey today. But you work with Kartik Mohan Productions now, which does a lot of grand, beautiful weddings, very dreamy. But I don't think a lot of people understand like what really goes behind those beautiful creations. You're working on one of the most beautiful days of their life.
Yes.
So tell me, how does it all begin? A family comes to you and they're like, "Ye hamara shaadi ka date hai. We are the bride and the groom. We are their parents." And how do you go from there?
Yes. So I work with Kartik Mohan Productions, which is a luxury wedding choreography company. And like you said, the first thing that happens is maybe the family member or someone from the event company, they come to us with saying that, there is this wedding that a family is looking out for a choreographer, and they reach out to us. And if everything goes to plan, we do a couple of meetings, like our first meeting with the families, where we try and mostly understand their vibe, because we absolutely do not know them. And like you said, it is their most special day of their lives. They are going to remember it for the rest of their life. And honestly, now that I'm saying it to you, I realize that how crucial and how important it is. But while we are working on it, it never actually crosses our mind, because we do it for the love of it and for the passion of dance and for the passion of creating.
And it's also like your job.
Yeah, it is my job, right? So at the end of the day, yes, you have to deliver, everything at its peak, at its best. But it is someone else's special day, and we put in our heart and soul into creating. So the first few meetings are generally just to understand their vibe, what songs they like, what they don't like. Then we come back to the table in our studio, which is like our home. We come back there, the entire team sits down and we start brainstorming on ideas, which is very funny because most of my research is YouTube and, listening to songs, which people don't get. So if I'm on my laptop, listening to songs and grooving to it, people are like, "Ki kaam nahi hai kya kuch?" I'm like, this is my work. I have to listen to new songs. I have to listen to new mixes. I have to watch concerts and musicals, which is so interesting. That's my research for my job. So then, we create a lot of things. Now, because I said it's a luxury wedding choreography, it is obviously different than the rest of the industry. Like, we are a little exclusive because of the way we create ideas. We try and bring something new to the table. Also because social media, right? Everybody is like, कि हमने ये तो देख लिया, अभी इसके आगे क्या, हमें कुछ नया चाहिए, कुछ नया चाहिए. And then at the end of the day, you're like, कहाँ से लाए इतना नया? Like, it feels like that. But then something just clicks. You create on it, you build on it. And that's how the process starts. Now, after that comes the choreography comes much later. Then we sit with the client, we lock on ideas, we lock on concepts and songs and everything. Then some of the weddings are intimate also, but some of them are larger than life. So then you sit and you look for, say, set props, and they want like a grand scale Sangeet where there's a lot of technology involved. So we need to be, updated with that. Okay, what's happening in the industry? What technology is there in India? Because a lot of things are there abroad, but not here. So then we try and bring that to the table and try and do something else that the industry has not seen. So yeah, I mean, that is how the process goes. And then we go and we start teaching the family. It's a very, very creative, but yet a very emotional and personal experience. There is a lot of emotion involved, of the chacha, of the dad, of the bhabhi, of the bua, and you have to be understanding of everything and bring that to the final day. इतना क्या, तुम लोग तो, तुम्हें तो मजा आता होगा, तुम तो दिन भर नाचते हो. ये दिन भर नाचते हो तो ऐसा थ्रोन अवे टर्म है, तुम तो दिन भर नाचते हो. अरे बट हम उसके अलावा भी बहुत काम करते हैं. Not all good teachers are good dancers and not all good dancers are good teachers. I worked on an ad film with Madhuri, which was a dream come true. किधर भी काम मिलेगा चलेगा. So I did this shoot for the movie 102 Not Out. Okay, it was an Amitabh and Rishi Kapoor movie. So there is a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. You mentioned about like the choreography coming in much later, but that's what I was, just thinking, that a lot of people think that, wedding choreographers are just doing the choreography, but they don't understand. You're thinking about the lights, the music, the sets, and probably you also have to take into consideration what people are wearing, like can they even do those kind of steps or say a lift or whatever.
Correct.
So yeah, I hope people realize like how much hard work goes behind this. But you also mentioned कि सबको कुछ नया चाहिए, right?
Yes.
But I'm sure a lot of people also come with an idea कि अरे हमको ये ही चाहिए. So like, because everyone's like a mini creator, a mini dancer, choreographer today in India. Have you had like any bizarre requests that have come in without taking names?
So many. And I'm sure like a lot of people from the industry get it. But like you said, like there is a lot more involved than just choreography.
For sure.
And one aspect is audio editing, the mixing of songs. So now with experience, we know that ये गाना इसके साथ नहीं जाएगा. It's off. But when the family comes to us with a request, for them it's like and one very weird request we've had is like an emotional song. Like example, Abhi Na Jao Chhod Ke, very very emo song, but they wanted a techno version of that song.
What?
And we made it happen. Honestly, like we were like, okay, fine, because the family just wanted it. So ऐसे गाने को we made a techno EDM version of it.
Wow.
I mean, it turned out fine, but I mean, if you asked me, I would never do it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you also have to, then at that point, your family's emotions, you have to take it into consideration and be like, you know what, okay, fine, we'll give in. But obviously, we do put in our thoughts as well, and we tell them that हमारे एक्सपीरियंस के अकॉर्डिंग ये नहीं जाएगा, बट अगर आपको फिर भी करना है, विल डू इट. बट या सो दीज आर द रिक्वेस्ट कि इसका सिर्फ 2 लाइन चाहिए, और फिर आप ना वो चौथे गाने का सिर्फ लास्ट पार्ट ले लो. तब लेकिन नहीं जाएगा दोनों साथ में, आप नाच कैसे पाओगे उस पे. बट या सो देन समटाइम्स वी जस्ट मेक दैट एडिट एंड देन वी प्ले इट एंड देन लाइक ये शायद नहीं जा रहा है. लाइक एग्जैक्टली वी टोल्ड नहीं जा रहा है, नहीं जाएगा. So yeah.
I love it. But everyone's just so into it. Like the whole wedding vibe itself is so amazing. That you also kind of feel like कि चलो कर लेते हैं.
Sangeet is I feel Sangeet rehearsals just bring the family together.
Yeah.
It's like a mini party. Like everyone comes together, especially in Bombay if you're doing it, people live so far away.
Yeah.
But they still make it for that Sangeet rehearsal and they are like कि अरे 2 महीने से हम मिले नहीं है, आज मिलते हैं. The friends come and then it's like a mini party. And you're just a part of it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I remember like until a few years ago, wedding choreographers or anyone in the dance industry, especially females, they were not very highly respected, or you know what I'm talking about, like, but I think that's changing now, especially at least with the Sangeets that I see, with whatever little experience I have, at least now they realize that how much the wedding choreographers are important for their day to also be grand and dreamy, or the way they want it to be. But do you see that changing since you are like in it every single day?
Yes, it is changing, but I think the time that I started, that's about 6 years ago now, at that point it was a struggle. It still is a struggle sometimes in some aspects. Some aspects of it I have cracked. I know how to deal with it. Like example, sometimes in rehearsals, when a woman walks into a rehearsal, she's not taken seriously. And they don't even have to say it. Like I feel as women, we exactly know when you walk into a room when someone's not taking you seriously. With their body language, you know that they're not taking you seriously.
100%.
So that used to happen a lot. And I had a guy instructor with me all the time. So we were a team. So naturally, sabki nazare used to, go to him. कि अच्छा they'll look at him for validation, or and I used to feel like कि अरे but मैं सिखा रही हूँ ना, तो आप इधर देखो, मुझे देखो. But a few years with experience, I understood how to deal with it, and I think now I've cracked it. But it happens a lot when probably you're at events, because the event industry or at a larger scale, things are still very male dominant. And I feel it is more of the mentality. Not everyone is like that. It's like in a basket of tomatoes, 2 or 3 are rotten. It's like that. So not everybody is like that. But there are a few people where, a few incidences where I've had to repeat myself 3 times, or, to a person, or from the opposite gender. And sometimes they have cross-questioned my abilities to, maybe know something about tech. Like if I'm at the console, where you have your SFX and you have your sound console and your lights, and they just assume that you don't know anything. And then when you actually start talking in their language, which is using the terminologies, because now you're well versed with it, then they're like, oh, I think she knows what she's doing. But it's always like they will not take you seriously. You have to be a little more assertive, which I feel now it has started changing, but it's still smaller steps towards progress. But it's fine. It's still happening. At least I have cracked it now at times. And when I don't, I get annoyed, but then I move past it. I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. And again, not every day can be all rainbows and sunshine. So, but it's always good to know that at least things are moving in a positive direction. So, yeah. And I hope more people realize that, just because you're a woman, or, like you don't know anything about tech, like that's just not the right attitude to have. Yeah. Let's go back to like a little bit about our training days.
Yes.
That's
happy days.
Happy days, best days, as we were just discussing, before going live, that definitely the best year of our life when we did our OYP with Shamak together. Or even the years before that when we were in college and all of that. Like, college वगैरह तो चल रहा है, but शाम को 6 बजे class जाना है, and the whole day or the whole week would like revolve around that.
Yes.
But, when we were training together, I'll share like one incident that happened 10 times with me. Is like we would go for auditions, and then someone's like the assistant or someone's like selected you, and you make it to the last round, and then the one person who makes the final call just walks in, doesn't even look at your dance and says like, oh, you're too short, takes you out, and someone who was rejected before makes it because they are taller, fairer, skinnier, which I also, in a way, I get it. Like, it's the glamour world
Showbiz,
and all
yeah.
of that. It's a showbiz. And I see that's also changing today. But I think the impact of that stays with me until today, and I've made peace with it. That is going to stay with me all my life. But have you had some similar incidents? Has that generated some sort of insecurities? I see you're laughing already. I don't know if you're laughing or you're crying.
No, I'm laughing because yeah, like you said, I don't think it ever goes.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it creeps in ऐसा बीच में. It's not a constant feeling. Back then it used to be a constant feeling that, oh, I'm not good enough because I'm short. Oh, I'm not good enough because I'm not fair. Oh, I'm not good enough because I'm plus sized or little larger. So for me it was exactly the same thing. Like I was a big girl, and I because of health reasons and everything, and I had left dancing, and when I resumed dancing and I came to this training program, I was not taken up for a lot of projects because of the way I looked. And yes, like you said, I understand that it's a showbiz, but for me the only catch here is that if you know your requirement, don't ask me. If I don't fit in, do not ask me, because it is very humiliating in front of, like, we had a batch of 70 people.
Yeah.
Right? So in front of 70 people, when you are told to stand out and step out, and very openly told that, oh, you're short, oh, you're dark, oh, you're fat, step out. That's not a very good feeling. Also because it felt like I'm not a good dancer because I am this, I am that. It was never, I feel that back then it was never told to me personally that you can still be a good dancer even if you're of a certain size. Nobody told me how to navigate that and become a good dancer.
Right.
मुझे हमेशा यही बोला गया, प्रज्ञा तू अच्छा डांस करती है, lose some weight. This was the feedback that I've gotten for years on end when I did not even pursue this professionally, because my bone structure was such that I would never become that thin that I would fit into a mold. I was a little different looking, but the only feedback that I got through the years was, तू अच्छा डांस करती है, lose some weight. तू अच्छा डांस करती है लेकिन lose some weight. So then it got drilled in my head that, oh, maybe I'm not good enough because I have this weight. But nobody told me how to dance with this weight. You train me, right? You tell me. And if it happens, it happens. And if you feel that I'm not good enough for your show, whatever you're doing, don't ask me in the first place. You know your requirement, right? So don't. And then the thing is that even today, it is so weird that it starts creeping in ways where you're like, oh, I think I've put on a little weight. Oh, I don't think it's good for me. I'm in this industry professionally. Oh, I don't think I should do that. But then you see such fabulous dancers who are larger in size and they are beautiful and they are such like we say fadu dancers.
Yeah.
They are killing it.
Yeah.
And they are setting examples, and I wish that we had that. We had that because all we saw were literally a cutout mold of what a dancer
Yes.
should look like. And it was never about being inclusive. But if you see abroad, the concerts that happen, whether it's J-Lo, Beyonce, they all have very inclusive crew dancing with them. It is not about their bodies. They are just hardcore trained dancers. You tell me anything that I need to work on for my technique, I understand. But you start drilling it in my brain that I'm not good enough because I'm a certain size, that is not okay.
Yeah.
And it plays on your head no matter what you do. It does, and it still does at times. It's better now because you over the years understand your own capabilities and you know how to put that noise out, and you've seen enough and you've done enough, so you have that faith in your own talent and your own hard work that doesn't count anymore. But back then when you're training, and that time it was like you're competing with 70 people, not for 2 days but for 365 days. You want to be the best, you want to stand out, you want to be praised in front of everyone, but it's just not happening. So it really plays on your mind.
Yeah, it does. And it's not even like just when you're dancing, right? Like you go shopping and you try a dress and it may be looking fab on you, but you just feel कि अरे थोड़े मेरे arms अगर ऐसे दिखते ना, थोड़ा ये, जबकि कुछ नहीं है. It's all amazing. Again, the kids, I'm literally talking about like school kids, 8 years old, 10 years old. So much talent. Like blessed with so much potential. But I remember when we were that age, we were going to classes where we were supposed to wear only dance wear, no jewelry, not a single strand of hair could come out of our hair, no makeup, nothing. And now everyone's like just going to workshops. No one's going for a class. Everyone's like wearing jewelry which could hurt. I have seen people hurting other people, not themselves but other people. What's your take on that?
So I feel it's a double-edged sword in the sense of yes, people are going for more workshops than going for classes, but I also know that the teachers who are taking class, they need to put food on their table. Like they have to address to the masses and get the number that they need to become that famous or get people in class. But having said that, I feel it is the teacher's responsibility to conduct the class and to decide what the class is going to look like. So I have very recently started taking workshops and I am so very new, like I don't even count, but I've done so many workshops of people. And like you said, when we were training, like I remember even when we used to, forget training, when we used to go for class, okay, just basic class etiquettes.
Right.
That when you go for class, like you said, we were not even allowed to tie a jacket around our waist. We were asked to wear proper dance wear, proper dance shoes if needed, tie your hair tightly, nothing should come on your face. Then we were asked to space out properly. And now when I go to these workshops and I understand that when we were training in Shamak, like credit to him, like it was like going to a school where you learn this discipline. I don't think if we were to dance right now, we would ever learn it. Because when I go for classes and I go for other workshops, nobody's telling them how to space out. So that means you're not respecting someone else's space. A dance class is supposed to be a community building thing. It was never about being a solo dancer. It's like a sport. It's like a team sport where you dance with everyone, with all those 30 people in class. So, but abhi aisa ho gaya ki they'll come and they'll stand bang in the center. And I'm like, there is so much space next to you, just dance. But no, because why? And I know the reasons why. Like, they would want to come in the BTS videos, standing behind an instructor who's probably famous, so you are also seen. All these, and it's not everyone, but majority of them think like that. Then just class etiquettes of if you've come late in class. Imagine. Firstly, we were never allowed to come late for class. Not even the teacher, by the way. If you're on time, that means you're late. You have to be early for class. And if we were on time, you remember for ballet, if we were at 9 o'clock, we were thrown out for the entire day. But that's why we always knew कि Bombay में कहीं पे भी रहो 15 मिनट जल्दी आना है तो आना है. So today I see students coming late for class, instructors coming late for their own class. I'm like, how? So that means you're not respecting your students' time and you're not respecting the time of the studio nor the teacher who's going to teach next.
Or the art itself.
Exactly. So, okay, fine. I understand that if there's an emergency and there are other factors, but I mean, more often than not, that is the case, that they're late. Then that is not there. Then, like, we were taught that when the teacher is teaching, first 2 lines, we sit down. Why? Because the person who's standing in the corner has also paid the same amount of money as you have paid. So you respect that person and you let that person learn, because everybody is here to learn. It's not कि मैंने क्या सीखा और मैं कितना अच्छे से डांस कर रही हूँ. Now it's become like that where, I just put out a post saying that everybody wants to be seen in class. Nobody wants to learn in class. Everybody wants to be seen. So that's the reason sometimes I feel, is it like a show day that people have come dressed like this?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you look nice. You want to put on some makeup and, do your hair. And if it's, example, a semi-classical song, wear a nice kurta so that you get into the zone and dance. But why you wearing like a chuda and a mang tika and dancing in class? Because like you said, I've seen one girl whack one girl on the lip because she took a turn and she was wearing this big chuda. And that girl's lip got cut and she's bleeding in class. That's the reason we were never allowed. Not even a ring.
Yeah.
भगवान का कुछ नहीं, भगवान इधर है, दिल में रखो, लेकिन बाकी अंगूठी लॉकर में इधर नहीं चलेगी. So that's what. So I miss all of that.
Yeah.
I miss coming to class and learning, because this, I feel, this culture of wanting to stand out has created so much pressure on, even like you said, youngsters who are 8 and 9, who are fabulous dancers. But I just feel sometimes I wish someone taught them a class etiquette.
Yeah.
I wish sometimes that even in workshops, I understand that workshops are not meant to be very intensive with terminologies and, breaking down of steps. It's more like there's a difference, right? Step dikhana or step sikhana.
Right.
A lot of difference. And people don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
So I feel that I wish they understood a few terminologies. What's a first position ballet, second position ballet, fourth position ballet? What is it? Though some takeaway from class, something you're learning. What's a chasse? What's a shuffle? What's a this? What is that? Nothing. Zero. It is just come to class, dance it, showcase. This word showcase is annoying, but it's fine. So I am very selfish now when I go to class. I am very muffat. I go to class. If someone is in my way, I tell them, please हट जाओ, मैंने भी उतना ही पैसा भरा है. And now I say this, कि मैंने भी उतना ही पैसा भरा है, आप please हट जाओ तो मैं डांस कर पाऊँ. And my hands are very long, so if I start dancing full out, तो I'll whack 2-3 people, so वो वैसे भी दूर हट जाते हैं. So I'm sorted now, but I just feel it should change now.
Yeah.
And I feel it's the responsibility of the teachers as well who are conducting the class.
Yeah, I agree. But also, like in the beginning, you said that it's like teachers have to bring food to the table and all of that. I get that. Do these workshops, but also do batches, no? Where like you come once a week and just learn technique, which is anyway going to help with your dance later and help with your showcase and all of that. Like you can do both. Like I think we can find a balance somewhere.
Like I feel now it's the surge of workshops.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
It's a trend.
It's a trend, and I feel like back then we only had classes. Like hobby के लिए हम कहाँ जाते थे? Drawing class, skating class, karate class, dance class.
Yeah.
So it was class. Now there is no karate workshop. What is a karate workshop?
Yeah.
Right? You can't go for a workshop for karate. You have to learn the whole thing.
Thank God for that, by the way.
Exactly. So I feel that with dance also it's come to a point and it'll probably go back because like you said, I don't know, even if they do classes, I don't know if people are going to come for classes.
Right. Yeah. But again, like because there's also a lot of pressure, as you said. We, like you and I, we are kind of putting pressure on ourselves because now we are at that age where parents are not taking care of us. But I'm seeing 8 and 9-year-old like parents pressurizing them to get the routine right and get the perfect reel. And
I have to tell you a story.
Please do.
I have to tell you a story. So I went for a class, okay, one workshop, one day, which I was like, आज करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, class जाते हैं. So I went for a semi-classical workshop, and the choreography was tough, not super tough, but tough. So there was this small girl, without taking any names. So she was there in class. Again, she walked in late and stood bang in the center. And I was just looking at her and I'm like, stand there, excuse me. But yeah, whatever. Then the instructor came and he only said that, okay, move to the side. And then she went there. Okay, the routine was taught, everything was done. Now, because the girl was so young, her mother was obviously there for class. She was waiting outside. So now this girl has become very famous with her dancing. And she is actually a very good dancer. Like, I feel if she just gets trained as a dancer under very, very good teachers, she'll be fabulous. But so the routine was taught. And as you know, after the workshop is done, we all dance in like smaller groups. Right. And, so we were divided into like groups of 5, I think. And there were 5 such groups. So So she was, I think, in the third group or something. And then I finished dancing, and then I sat and I was observing everyone. So this small girl, she danced, and then she came back. Okay, now when she was dancing, her mother was recording her video. Okay. And then while I was sitting and I was observing everyone else, she danced, she came back, and her mother was like, बेटा देखो आपने ये स्टेप बराबर से नहीं किया.
Oh my
ये
God.
यहाँ पे ना आपका एक्सप्रेशन थोड़ा और सॉफ्ट हो सकता है. And I was just like कि let her just dance, like it's fine, it's okay. So once I thought कि okay चल ये एक बार हुआ ठीक है नहीं होगा. So there was a round 2 that happened of everyone. And again she went and she came back, and again the mother shot a video and said कि नहीं वो अभी आपने बराबर किया, लास्ट पार्ट में ना थोड़ा एनर्जी चाहिए, थोड़ा एनर्जी डालो.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, that is so much pressure on that little girl to stand out in a class of 30
Adults,
who are
yeah.
dancing. And why? Let her just come, learn, and go back home, and then maybe rehearse. And if you want to shoot a video,
Yeah.
then you shoot a video and put it up.
Yeah.
And then I understood that after the class, after everyone had danced, that girl wanted to dance with the instructor. So she had to master the choreography right there and then. Because
Assuming she's learning it then and there, because even that's
yeah,
happening
even
a
that is
lot.
a thing. That is
Yeah.
a thing where people learn the choreography
Choreography
beforehand.
yeah.
And that is वो तो अलग ही है जाने. But yeah, that was the pressure that you have to know the choreography bang on because you're going to be dancing with the choreographer. And I feel that is too much for a child.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know your child best, but still, I mean, I feel ठीक है आप feedback दो, आप बच्चे को बोलो कि आज अच्छा किया लेकिन next time ना, but next time थोड़ा इसमें नजाकत डालो या put in a little more, energy
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
But there and then, bichari, she's not even sitting down and having water and
my
dancing
God.
and dancing and dancing, and I was just like, man.
Wow.
I think good my parents don't know how good or bad I dance.
They've just never seen you dance.
They've not seen me dance. They
Come
don't
on.
know.
They must have come
Twice.
to some annual function.
Twice they have come to see me dance. No, professionally they've, वो तो बचपन में annual day में तो क्या ही है, but
Yeah.
twice they have come to see me dance.
Okay.
But yeah, so that is,
That's
I
a lot
feel,
of pressure. Yeah,
that's a
just
lot of pressure.
Let the kids be and let them make mistakes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
let them. I feel that ek to because of Instagram, when the teacher is teaching, like the last bit of it, when everybody else is dancing, I can see people from, if it's a class of whatever 25-30, जो center area होता है ना जहाँ पे सब लोग shoot करते हैं, that's fine. Okay, there are few people standing in front who are recording the video and a few students who are sitting and cheering. The rest ना जो peripheral में होते हैं वो rehearse करते हैं खुद से and they keep their phones नीचे and they keep recording till the time they don't go in the center. So कोई भी take अच्छा आया तो. But I'm like, imagine you're sitting and you're observing each group and take something away from each of them who are dancing. Watch and learn. Like we used to, this was the term that used to be said in our class. Watch and learn. Observe. If you don't observe, you're only going to be there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, ठीक है, I don't know what the goal is. If you want to become a teacher, then there are so many things. But this just annoys me so much. कि phone उधर रखे. And like one of the teachers, and I'll say her name also, Inet, like I did her workshop, and the first thing when I walked into her class, and I was so happy when she said it, she said, guys, phones on the side. Only when I ask you to get your phones is when you will get your phones. Phones on silent and on the side. And I was
Lovely.
like, amazing. She is a teacher. She has decided how she wants to conduct her class and dictate what the rules are, and everyone should respect it because she's the teacher. She doesn't care about your Instagram, and she shouldn't, and neither should you, because you're in the class
Yeah.
more than anything. So I feel the teachers now should start putting up the rules a little bit, at least.
But we've spoken about insecurities with our body. We've spoken about being in a male dominant or like an industry where like people are still listening to the males more than the females, and a lot of other things which I'm sure kind of take a toll on your mental health, right? And again, mental health, widely spoken topic today. but I'm sure there are certain things which are very specific to dancers that
Yes.
impact your mental health. What do you think are those things, and how can people around you also be aware of that, especially given the kind of schedules we have,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Like, thank you that you're talking about mental health for dancers
Yeah.
specifically, because I think the problem, not a problem, but the thing is that it has taken so much time for people to accept this as a career. One. Second is ki the seriousness of the career. Like, चलो ठीक है, career तो आपने choose कर लिया, लेकिन what goes behind the scenes nobody knows. Nobody knows how it plays on your mental health. Like, if it is example, like when we have been body shamed or color shamed or whatever, height shamed and everything, it still stays with us, right? But nobody asks us whether you're okay with it or not. How are you doing now? The uncertainty of the profession.
Yes.
Like, trust me, anybody and whoever is a part of this profession is only wholly solely doing it for the love of it. Like, इतना कोई नहीं कर सकता if they don't love the job, because the uncertainty is way more. The money is probably less for the amount of work that you put in, and there is a lot of physical work involved. So the uncertainty also people don't realize, and also because people don't know कि ये career में क्या है, होता क्या है, they don't know how to even listen to you. कि
Right.
they will never be able to understand. They will never be able to understand that, like, a lot of times for our parents also, it's so difficult कि इतना रात को घर क्यों आना है वापस. But what they don't realize is कि our rehearsals are in the night.
Yeah.
Our creative best comes out at night because the world is silent. You're not on your phone. You require that. इतना रात को क्या काम करना है? बाकी दुनिया तो दिन में काम करती है. अरे हाँ, बट बाकी दुनिया का करियर अलग है ना, मेरा करियर अलग है. And it comes with the territory. And I have accepted it. And you should too. I feel that acknowledgement is not there. Where, because people don't understand the profession. I feel you don't need to understand the profession. You need to know the person. And the feeling and the emotion. That's it. You don't have to know whether that person is an engineer, तो उसको mental health में थोड़ा problem हो रहा है. Oh, that person is a doctor, अरे problem हो रहा है. नहीं. It's that person and it's that emotion. So don't relate it to the career कि अरे इतना क्या तुम लोग तो, तुम्हें तो मजा आता होगा, तुम तो दिन भर नाचते हो. ये दिन भर नाचते हो तो ऐसा थ्रोन अवे टर्म है. तुम तो दिन भर नाचते हो. अरे बट हम उसके अलावा भी बहुत काम करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि दिन भर नाचते हैं सिर्फ. So I feel that is a little that acknowledgement has to come in more than awareness. Just that acknowledgement has to come in, and I feel that if you obviously seek help, I am like very 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 it's very important to see a therapist, and I know that therapist ना ऐसा एक झटके में नहीं मिलता है. Like you have, it's like a trial and error process. Not, you can't connect with someone immediately. So that is a process, but I feel that will help so much. But again, therapy is expensive. That
is.
also I get, and your profession is not that rewarding money wise. So then I know it is very difficult to balance the two. But then I feel, then find your circle, find people around you who know the profession a little bit, who are, because I have those friends. Like I have like, I found you through dance. I have found a different circle of mine who are of 7-8 people. I found them through dance.
Right.
My childhood friend who has seen me dance. So they know what it takes to be here, to take that step, to make this a career. So they will never be like कि अरे इतना क्या हुआ, तुम्हें तो मजे है, तुम तो इतना travel करते हो. They'll always be like, oh, are you traveling again? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you okay? You know, they'll keep asking those questions rather than वो तेरी life तो क्या मजे में चल रही है, तुम्हें तो सब जगह घूमने मिलता है. It's not that. So I feel surround yourself with people who understand you and a little bit of the job as well. That also helps. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like both the things that you said, like therapy, of course, as you said, it is expensive. But again, today there are so
Yeah.
many avenues, so much help you can get for free or for a lower price. Of course, like a lot of avenues. But at the same time, like just getting the right people around you.
Yeah.
Like just share your emotions, like vent out, don't let it, seep
Correct.
inside you, and then one day you just explode, but then all the damage is already done.
Yeah.
I think that's much that's like being in a bad situation rather than just be like open about your emotions, share it with one person at least.
Yeah.
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 And you said like acknowledging people around you need to acknowledge the situation and not just see how much you're getting to travel or how much you're getting to dance. Also, even if you were just dancing, it's takes
It's
a
a
lot
lot.
on your body. But tell me, what are some misconceptions? I'm sure there are more than one about like that people have about this profession
Oh,
that you want to
ca-
debunk.
that this can't be a profession. That I think is the biggest this thing. But I feel that is also changing now a
Changing, yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I feel thanks to social media only
For
that people
sure.
have made careers out of it now.
Right.
But when we were starting, it was God, we have become those people now. हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा नहीं था. But yeah, नहीं था.
नहीं था.
It was not a profession
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
So I think that is one thing that people feel that you can't make a profession out of it. Also, the myth of it's not a myth. It's I think how you put it to use. But I get asked this question a lot कि कितने साल तक नाचेगी?
Okay.
What after 40? What if you're not able to dance? Firstly, I will dance when I'm 40. So, and I'll kill it. But yeah, touch wood, if anything, happens.
Yeah.
But I feel that you have learned so much.
Right.
Like, वैसे होने के लिए तो किसी को भी कुछ भी हो सकता है at any point. Like, you can't. But I understand that fear comes from कि it's your physical work. How will but it's not just physical, right? I have worked on my creativity. I have worked on ideation. I can think about 10,000 things. तो ये मत सोचो कि मैं कुछ ना कुछ कर ही लूंगी. You don't worry about it. But don't expect that 40 के बाद इसका कुछ है ही नहीं, ये career का कुछ है ही नहीं.
Yeah.
People will figure out. There will be ideas that flow in for artists, and they will find other avenues or tap onto 10 other things. And who knows, maybe after 5 years I like singing, I'll become a singer. But why are you deciding whether I should dance at 40 or no?
Yeah.
So that I feel is that these are the two things I feel that people should stop assuming. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think there are some misconceptions of younger people who want to get into this industry?
Oh, misconception I feel is that your number of followers on your Instagram makes you a good teacher or a good dancer. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that not all good teachers are good dancers, and not all good dancers are good teachers.
Yeah.
And you need to work towards being a teacher. It is very sacred, and people have put in years. लोग पागल थोड़ी है ना जो इतने साल ट्रेनिंग करते इधर उधर अलग अलग institutions में जाके. Like abroad you have a degree in dancing and performing arts. इधर नहीं है इतना for Western style of dancing. But people are going and doing that. Why? Because training gives you so much more.
Yeah.
And I don't think Instagram following gives you that.
Yeah. Definitely. For long-term career,
Yeah.
having that knowledge is very important than having just the numbers on your.
It's like going to school, right?
Going to
I mean,
school, yeah.
You go, you study, and then you decide what you want to do with that knowledge. It's up to you whether
Yeah.
you want to just keep it to the side or whether you want to make it into something.
Into
That's up to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, those numbers are not going to get you good teaching skills.
Yeah. So
If that's your goal. If that's your goal.
yeah. But yeah, as you said, for long-term career,
Ha.
get the training.
Yes.
Let's talk about something fun. I know you've like been a part of a lot of ad shoots and music videos, and been around so many celebrities.
Yeah.
So tell me like some fun stories
God.
that you've had.
Fun stories. So yeah, I mean, I've like even when we were training, we have worked in Filmfare and Zee Cine and all of that, and we have gotten those opportunities. But even after that, when I stepped out in the industry and I worked on an ad film with Madhuri, which was a dream come true. I mean, I will probably not tell you the ad because then you'll go on YouTube and find it. But
I think I already have the link, but
oh god, don't put it anywhere.
I'm going to put it in the description box.
Because it was for some construction this thing. Anyway, I went there for Madhuri and मेरा पैसा वसूल था वहाँ पे. But oh my god, it was a dream. Like
I'm sure.
she is beautiful. Like what a dancer. Like I wish I could have done like a full-fledged shoot with her, but that was amazing. But so just when I had moved back to Bombay, I decided that ऐसा छोटा मोटा I would do like any shoots, just networking, किधर
Yeah.
भी काम मिलेगा चलेगा. So I did this shoot for the movie 102 Not Out. Okay, it was
Okay.
an Amitabh and Rishi Kapoor movie, and it was a fun set. The movie was a lot of fun and everything, and it must be my second shoot or first shoot. So shoot is very different from your stage performance.
Right.
Like कैमरा कहीं होता है and you're supposed to suddenly अभी आप इधर से भाग के आए हो अभी वापस आपको उधर से भागना है and all of that. So in all that I had no idea what I was doing. Follow the leader चल रहा था मेरा तो. And in that by mistake I hit Amitabh Bachchan's hand while doing a step.
No.
Yeah, I did. And I was like, गई मैं तो आज गई अभी तो गाली
Industry से
पड़ेगा. इंडस्ट्री अभी तो कोई काम भी नहीं देगा छोड़ दो. गाली पड़ेगी. But I mean he's so nice यार. Like he just made a joke about it. हाँ अभी पास में आके नाचो ना. ऐसा करके he said something and then we carried on. But I was like, this is my second shoot. बस अभी तो गई मैं. But yeah, all of this I mean, these are all stories that are so much fun now when I look back.
Of
तभी तो
course.
बहुत फट गई थी.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the moment you said that you hit
Yeah.
him, I was like, oh my god, what
Yeah,
happened next?
Yeah.
How do you
ये
still
हाथ
have a
काटना
career?
पड़ेगा.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you still have a career?
No, but he was very sweet about it, and I
Yeah.
feel like one of the most professional. Like, dude, he comes on time, like before time. Amitabh Bachchan comes before time for a shoot. तो फिर मतलब डांसर्स को तो
Yeah.
आना ही चाहिए.
yeah.
But yeah.
Wow, this has been so amazing, Pradnya. I'm sure, like, if we could like chat the
Yeah.
entire evening, entire night, as we just did a couple of days ago. But finally, I just want to say, do you have like a last message for your 12-year-old self, just that you would want to go back and give her as closing notes?
Oh God. I'm just going back and thinking what my 12-year-old self looked like. But I feel I would just say that it's okay. It's fine. Like everything will fall into place eventually, and without realizing there'll be so many helping hands coming your way that you wouldn't even realize, and you'll reach where you wanted to reach. Like that's been my life all throughout, where helping hands have come in ways and forms that I did not expect them to, and that's what has brought me and made me choose this career, leaving everything behind. So
You mentioned that you didn't have a plan, things just kept happening. But now you've been dancing for many years. I think you've been in the industry for almost 10 years now. Now do you think of a plan? Now do you think कि यार ये करना है मुझे नेक्स्ट 2 साल में या 5 साल में, और इवन 10 years, like या ये कुछ करना है मुझे ऐसे आगे?
not really. I'm not that kind of a person who'll think way ahead of time and all of that. So not like I don't have a 5-year plan or a 2-year
Yeah.
plan. ऐसा नहीं है. But I know that within the industry that I do want to try out a lot of stuffs. Like taking a workshop was my biggest fear. I couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah. People have been pushing me to do it and I couldn't do it. But last year I was like, 6 लोग आएंगे ना, 5 लोग भी आएंगे ना क्लास में चलेगा, but I'll take it. Let's see ना क्या होगा, देखते हैं. And then that one step was like, it was so rewarding in so many other ways. Like आए 5-6 लोग ही आए because nobody knows me in Bombay. But I was like, ठीक है, now that is ticked off.
Yeah.
I had it's stupid now that I have said all of this about Instagram and stuff, but on Instagram, yes, there is validation, right? But when you reach that 10K mark and it was like अरे कुछ भी नहीं किया, एक भी वीडियो कभी प्रमोट नहीं किया, कुछ नहीं, ऑर्गेनिकली हो गया, अरे ऐसे one fine day it happened, yes, okay, then that is done. So ऐसा छोटू छोटू there are things that I do want to learn how to choreograph for movies, because that's something that I've not done. I've not been behind the camera for movies. I've been in front of camera. So that is like that one thing on my bucket list I really want to learn. Because that is also science, like,
Of course.
everything. That it's director of choreography, right? So to learn that, that's on my list. So I hope that in the next 2-3 years I get to do that in some way or the other.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you will, and I'm sure you will take more workshops. I hope you take more workshops, because unfortunately I haven't been able to attend one yet. But I see your videos all the time, and I speak to so many people who've done your workshops, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
only have amazing things to say. So please continue doing that, and hopefully next time I can attend too.
Yes, so please do.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pradnya. My goal with this podcast is just to create more awareness about dancers, their journeys, and make people realize what it really takes to be a dancer. But with just this one conversation, like you've touched on you going to therapy, people around you being aware about like a dancer's lifestyle and how that impacts their mental health and all of that, and so many other, like just talking about the importance of training. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. All of this has been so valuable. And everyone, please go and follow Pradnya Gune on
Yes.
Instagram right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad we are doing this in person. I loved it. I think you're doing an amazing job, and I know how much you want to stay connected to the art and to dancing, and I know that's the reason you're doing this. And it's a fabulous idea. I know that it's going to blow up
Oh.
eventually.
Thank
Yes.
you. Let's wrap up before I cry.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thank you, everyone.